The Energy Department sees more oil price hikes until the end of the year, but the adjustments won't be as steep as in the past 11 weeks. A group from Surigao Del Norte denies a senator's claim that they are a cult engaged in sexual abuses. And last-minute roster issues force Gilas, Pilipinas to change players for the Asian Games in China. Fast, focused, and fearless, here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Denise Tan. Oil companies are offering promos and discounts to motorists to cushion the unabated fuel price hikes in the country. Speaking to us here on One News Now, Oil Industry Management Bureau Director Rino Abad said that these are just some immediate and short-term solutions. Abad does not see fuel settling at their previous tags before the latest series of oil price hikes. He is also projecting more increases until the end of the year.
In the monitoring of the supply-demand balance globally, really the August month registered the most gap in the shortage in the production of oil. The high prices up to the end of the year, but not as intensified in terms of increases per week as what we've experienced in the past three months.
Just today, another big-time fuel increase took effect, with diesel up by 2 pesos and 50 centavos per liter, while gasoline and kerosene are more expensive by 2 pesos a liter. This is the 11th week of upward adjustments. Since July, consumers have shelled out nearly 17 pesos more for 1 liter of diesel, over 11 pesos for gasoline, and almost 16 pesos for kerosene. One intervention that could bring down oil prices is the suspension of the fuel excise tax. But Marikina representative and economist Stella Kimbo is warning against it. Kimbo cited the move's potential effects on the government's revenue and the country's overall economic growth. For the lawmaker, there are other options to ease the impact of oil price increases.
Pag magsususpend po tayo ng taxes, ibig sabihin yan, there are foregone revenues. And when we forgo revenues, ibig sabihin yan, mawawalan po tayo ng suporta para sa spending. At tatandaan po natin na medyo bumagal ang GDP growth natin ng second quarter ng taon nito. At sa ngayon naman po, sa tingin ko, marami pa namang existing unutilized funds to support our consumers. Marami pa tayo natitirang pondo for fuel subsidies.
Moving on to another story, more than 1,000 children are allegedly being sexually abused and forced into marriages by a religious cult in Surigao del Norte. Senator Risa Hontiveros made the revelation, identifying the supposed cult as Socorro Bayanihan Services. The lawmaker said some victims have already come forward to testify about the supposed abuses. A certain J. Rense Kilario or Senyor Aguila allegedly leads the group. Senators Hontiveros and Bato de la Rosa have already filed resolutions to investigate the matter. But the group tagged by Hontiveros denied they are a cult involved in abuses. An officer of Socorro Bayanihan Services said they are a legitimate people's organization that help the needy.
Consider ourselves one family. We are practicing the spirit of Bayanihan as a way of life. If the Senate wants to interview us, perhaps you can request to shoulder our expenses. Can come here. The committee of Hontiveros can come so that we will be able to see what's really happening here.
We're bringing you more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. Thanks for staying with us here on One News Now. I'm Denise Tan. In sports, organizers declined the country's appeal for roster changes in the Asian Games basketball tournament. With this, Calvin Abueva, Jason Perkins, Terence Romeo, and Mo Tautua have all been ruled ineligible to play. In a joint presser, the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas and PBA announced that in place of the mentioned players, Chris Ross, Kevin Alas, Arvin Tolentino, and CJ Perez will be in the national team. Meanwhile, sharpshooter RR Pugoy will also be out of the ASIAD due to a medical condition. Fellow sniper Marshall Lassiter will take his spot in the team. Gilas has 1 week to iron everything out before the tournament starts on September 26. But it's a go for hundreds of other Pinoy athletes competing in the Asian Games. They have been sent off to China with hopes of eclipsing the last edition's 4 gold medal haul. Here's the story. Pinoy athletes are ready to banner the country in the upcoming Asian Games and Para Games in Hangzhou, China. A total of 396 athletes will be sent to the ASIAD, a bigger contingent than the 271 athletes who flew to Indonesia for the Games in 2018. Philippine sports officials are present at the PICC in support of the athletes. Among them is Philippine Olympic Committee President Bambol Tolentino and Senate Sports Committee Chair Bongo. Philippine Sports Commission Chair Richard Bachman is confident of Team Pilipinas' chances of bagging more medals this year. In the previous edition of the ASIAD, the Philippines won 4 golds, 2 silvers, and 15 bronze medals.
Give a couple, maybe EJ Obiena, pole vault. Then you have your gymnastics. Even without Carlos Yulo, the other athletes from gymnastics performed well in Cambodia. Then you also have your weightlifting, okay? And I'm sure a lot of other sports or other athletes will actually perform well.
Margie Didal and EJ Obiena will be the country's flag bearers. Didal won 1 of the 4 golds in the 2018 Games, while Obiena is regarded as a best pole vaulter in Asia, having had the Asian record in the discipline. Pinoy athletes will be featured in 40 sports, including boxing. Members of the country's boxing team say they're feeling added pressure heading into the Asian Games. 2 finals berths for the men's team will merit automatic spots in the Paris Olympics next year, while a semi-final appearance for the women's team will result in Olympic qualifications as well. Tokyo Olympics bronze medalist Yumir Marshall has no doubt the team will hurdle the pressure.
Nakikita namin na lahat po kami, buo yung loob namin. And then yung coaches namin, tinutulungan din kami na yung pressure nandyan lang. Kailangan nang i-absorb namin yan. Nandyan din, di mawawala yan. Pero dapat yung focus nandun pa rin.
Meanwhile, first-timers Gilas Women's 3x3 are also ready to showcase their talents in the Asian tilt.
New po kami dito sa Asian Games, pero yung iba naman po, like especially sa 5v5, nakakalaban po ng mga atas yun usually sa FIBA, so mga kilala na rin po yung mga kalaban nun po.
The Asian Games will run from September 23 to October 8. One News Now will be back tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. I'm Denise Tan. We are One News, all sides, all the time.